What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Yes, we are live here on January 26, 2001, doing our thing, ladies and gentlemen. Miami Dolphins offseason has started early, as we all know, because we didn't make the playoffs. We aren't going to the Super Bowl, but that's all right. That doesn't mean we won't next year. But we got some news breaking coming out of Senior Bowl. The reporters got a chance to catch up with DeVonta Smith. If you don't know who DeVonta Smith is, you've been living under a rock. Heisman winner, best receiver in college football, arguably, because there are some other studs out there as well. But he said he made some comments that woke everybody up. He basically kind of gave us a little insight on a conversation him and Tua Tagovailoa has been having about how nice it would be to reunite. And they talked about the potential of reuniting. Is that in Miami? I don't know. I can't sit here and speculate, but I want to talk about this because, listen, I can't rule it out, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that might actually happen. Is it my first pick to happen? I'm going to say no, not at the third overall pick, but yes, I would love for it to happen. At the end of the day, we need to get Tua Tagovailoa everything that he possibly can have to his disposal around him. Bringing in a top wide receiver is one thing, but bringing in a guy who has chemistry with them already, knows his tendencies, knows what he likes on the field, that's a huge plus, ladies and gentlemen. And DeVonta Smith coming out saying that they've discussed possibly reuniting, that does leave a lot of people with, a smile on their face. It also leaves me a smile on my face. Just the thought of Tua having one of his guys from Alabama, somebody who's going to not only gel well with Tua, but he's going to elevate Tua's game. It's a part of the missing piece with Tua Tagovailoa. There's a mystery going on out here. Why didn't Tua look the way he did in college this year? And this is a huge part of that, having a whole new group of receivers, not having the guys that he's used to. There's always a transition period, but this one sounds interesting. The opportunity for this is definitely interesting. Y'all let me know in the comment section, would you want to take DeVonta Smith at number 3 overall, bringing him to Miami? Let me know in the comment section right now. Would you use a number 3 overall pick to bring DeVonta Smith to Miami? Y'all let me know in the comment section right now. Yes or no? No, yes. 3? Yeah. Yes. Not a 3. Yes, lock him in at number 3. Oh, man, we get a lot of people shooting the comment section up. We got 200 people watching. If you want them here, hit that like button, guys. And if you don't want them here, hit the like button. Shake Money with the donation said, I say yes. I'm not done with Tua. And the Buffalo Bills are trash. Fins up. My kind of guy. I like the fact that you're not done with Tua. No one should be. And yes, the Buffalo Bills are trash, man. I'm with you on that one. But we got a lot of yeses and nos, so we have a split here. I want to talk about this real quick. Would I bring him in at number 3? That's an easy answer for me, ladies and gentlemen. The answer for me is no. I'm not bringing him in at number 3. But trading out of number 3 and going down to about 7 or 8, and he's still on the board, now we're having a better conversation. Now I'm more inclined to actually bringing him to Miami. But the number 3 overall pick is just something that I wouldn't do. It does not mean the Miami Dolphins won't do it. Last year before the draft, I said I wouldn't bring in Tua at 5. But if we traded down to 8, 9, or 10, I would do it then by picking up the extra asset. It did not matter. They brought Tua in at 5. So all those who don't like it, it's still a possibility. So don't get all bent out of shape and mad about it, because it definitely is a possibility that it could happen. All right. Now, here's my concern. Okay. Here's my concern with DeVonta. Okay. Well, I just come to think of it, we have 2 DeVontas. But here's my concern. Okay. I've always had a concern with his size. Right. And then he just today, he refused He refused to weigh in. He said, I'm not weighing in and I don't want y'all taking measurements of me. And that's a smart move. His agent told him to do it. You know, there's no other way. His agent had to tell him, don't weigh in and don't have him take your measurements, because everyone knows he's small. His body just doesn't look like it's built for the NFL. It does not look like it can sustain long-term success in the NFL without getting hurt. But I want to read what Flores said about it, okay? Here's what Flores had to say about DeVonta Smith, which that's why this is very relevant. Flores' opinion does matter. He said, this guy is a very, very good player. Then they asked him if size is a hindrance. Flores said, you can nitpick all you want about a guy's size. Good players are good players. This guy is a very good player. Made a lot of plays in college in biggest games. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Flores isn't fazed by his size. Flores isn't bothered by his size. Good players are good players. So we can sit here and talk about size all we want, which we have a right to be concerned about. But at the same token, the coach has spoken. I don't think that's going to be a factor at all in any decision making. It's not going to be a factor at all in any decision making when it comes to DeVonta Smith, okay? But it is very interesting that all in the same day, DeVonta leaks out the fact that him and Tua Tagovailoa have had conversations of a possible reunion. And then Brian Flores basically gives the kid an endorsement that can't get any better than that. And within that endorsement, eliminates all the doubt in regards to his size, as if that doesn't matter to me. The kid's a baller. He can play. That's all that matters. So that's a serious guy that may come off the board for the Miami Dolphins. Now, Chris Greer's opinion also matters in all of this, but I want you all to think about that. Tua Tagovailoa reconnected with DeVonta Smith, Heisman Trophy winner. I will say this. Let's get in the realm of reality here, okay? I think it would be very smart to say it's not wise to take him at number 3, but I think it would also be smart to say it's not going to hurt to take him at number 3. We can get better value at number 3 plus additional assets. But it also wouldn't be a loss taking him at number 3, if that makes sense. So taking a DeVonta Smith at number 3 is something that I wouldn't do, but it's also something that I would not complain about. I personally want the Miami Dolphins to do everything in their power this offseason to put everything they can around Tua Tagovailoa. Because if we can, then we'd be doing something that many teams aren't able to do. Have an explosive offense and an explosive defense as long as Tua shows up with the increased weapons around him. So let me repeat that. If we put everything Tua needs around him in this offseason and he lives up to the hype, we'd be the first team to do what I haven't seen anyone do in almost forever. Have an explosive offense and an explosive defense. Super Bowl. Super Bowl. We'd be doing something that nobody's been able to do. Nobody's been able to do. So at the end of the day, they need to focus on putting everything around him. Someone said, happy you're off the Watson train, TD. I was never really on the Watson train. It's just that I never ignored the tracks. Y'all have to understand that about me. I'm not off and on anything. I just don't ignore obvious things. So the Watson train tracks are still right on here on the side. I just don't know if that train's going to drive by. But just in case, I talk about it just in case it does. So I'm not off of it, nor am I on it. But I'm not going to ignore the fact that the tracks are right there. All right? It's like walking down the train tracks. A train could be coming at any moment. I'm not going to ignore the fact that I need to continue to make sure I'm aware of that. All right. That's how I operate. Okay. Jose with the donation says Smith and Najee and Robinson and Parker and Gesicki and Tua and Dorsey equals Super Bowl contenders next year. Our offense is on par with Kansas City. Jose, you said a lot there. You added Robertson to that. You added Robinson to that. Let me ask you all this. If they did bring in Smith and Robinson, let's just hypothetically say they did bring in a free agent as well, Robinson, Smith, and Parker. What position would Smith play? I'm just curious because you got Albert Wilson as well. And Smith's speed, I think I kind of want him on the outside. Well, we know he'll play receiver. I'm talking about, is he going to be on the outside or the inside? Outside or inside? Wilson will be cut. They'll save the $9 million? Interesting. That is very interesting when you think about it. Albert Wilson's costing us $9 million. I mean, $11 million almost next year. It's just that if we cut him, we'd save $9 million. If the NFL doesn't come back and say his contract is guaranteed because he pushed it from the COVID rules. So we'll have to see how that all works out, the rules and that. Wow, this is interesting though, okay? We still don't have an offensive coordinator, by the way, because Brian Flores said that he's basically still searching for the OC. He feels like Eric Studsville, Godsey, and the assistants, they're good enough right now to handle the Senior Bowl. He's been doing a lot more work figuring out the OC. So this is going to be interesting to figure this out, man. I can't wait till we know who it is. A lot of people say, hey, TD, why didn't you say anything about the quarterbacks coach? I actually did on the last 2 streams ago. I actually went live about that. Thought it was a great look. Wow, my notification just came in, TD. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. But we got 330 people watching right now, but we only have 100 likes. If y'all can please help out the channel by hitting the like button, it'll definitely send a notification out to more people. For some reason, YouTube has been operating in this fashion. So do your part by punching the like button right now. All you got to do is remove the chat, hit the like, and bring it back, and you're done. It's real easy. Hit that like button, and YouTube will send more notifications out to more people. It's almost on a merit basis now. The more likes you get in video, the more notification we'll send out to your subscribers, unless you got the bell turned on all. Some people have it turned on occasional videos. So you have to go to your notification, turn on the all button, okay? And you should be an individual that gets every notification. All right? I think we've hit half the notifications now. We got about 330 people watching and 170 likes. So let's try to get over 500 likes on every video. We've been getting almost 6,000 views on every video. So that should be easy work. So let's hit that like button, guys. I appreciate your love and support. Take calls, TD. Take calls. Y'all want to come in the comment section? Y'all want to have a conversation about this? I got 30 more minutes, 35 more minutes. Why not? Maybe this is a good moment. If you like to join and talk to me about what's your thoughts about DeVonta Smith. Now, that's what we're going to talk about, okay? Because that's what this video is about. If you want to talk about DeVonta Smith or offensive coordinator situation, I'm going to drop the link right now. This is your opportunity to come through and chop it up, talk to the people, give your opinion. What's up with the homie Ron in the building? So here you guys go. Control V. The Dow Family channel. Yeah, man, they actually put this restriction on our channel, which it should be over next week, but they actually put like a 30-day restriction on my channel for something with copyright in music and stuff. So we got some content for y'all, but I'm gonna have to wait to post it. All right. But we're gonna start out with the homie Cap for Life. What's up, man?
Going on, T? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. What about yourself?
Nothing much, man. Just over here riding around with my windows down, man, and heard this debate we're going through right now. It's for me, you know, it's one thing to hear about the Watson-Tua divide, but you know, for Sewell, I thought we were in agreement with Sewell, and for us to go at a receiver at 3, man, it just reminds me of Yatil Green, a good guy, but you know, same build. I feel like we can do either a trade down if we don't get Sewell and try to stay in the top 10. You know, try to build up on that capital if we can, but to take a receiver at that build, I mean, I don't know, man. There's other mock drafts coming out from ESPN talking about Chase, but I don't know, man. What's your thoughts?
Again, man, I don't get into the mock world, Cap for Life. I do them on occasions, and I talk about them on occasions. But, you know, I got to be honest with you. The mocks are fantasy. That's Fantasy Island, right? I go through the team and break down the team's main needs, how they can maneuver. You know, the draft in itself is a game that you have to play it real time. This team moves up, it can adjust your whole board. That team trades out, it can adjust your whole board. So all these mocks, I don't care who they have up there. I just talk about all the potentials. We talk about Penei Sewell. You know, it could definitely be a good addition to the O-line. You want to put him on the left side, but you might want to move Austin to the right. But how will that work? Is that going to be suitable? Is that going to be a success? You know, all of those conversations have to be had. Then you talk about a guy like, you know, DeVonta. You know, he's smaller build. Is he going to be able to take the hits? But also you want to shy away from that because this league, they don't hit you the way they used to. It's just tackles, really. You know, so that's not as great of a concern. It's just that, like you said, the value at number 3 is just something that I don't like when you know you can go get more. And for me, if I'm going to be happy with any one of those 3 top receivers, then why am I keying in on just one? You know?
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to key in on just one, for that key in on 2 on free agency, like you said, with Robinson or Jones or Godwin, you know, things like that, I feel like those type of position players that we need as weapons have to be experienced, man. You can't have unexperienced on both sides of the ball.
Well, again, but there's nothing wrong with bringing a high-profile draft pick in as well at the position to call them yours, and you groom them to that point to what you want them to be. But the thing is, once again, people even argue who the best receiver is coming out. I mean,
I like Tutu, man. I like Tutu, man. You like Tutu?
Yeah, I mean, but again, the 3 top guys, any one of them I would be fine with.
We need a slot receiver. Is that an agreement as far as with the receiving need? Not a big-time number 1?
Nah, you also need an outside receiver. You can't rely on Preston Williams with his injury history. And even though DeVonta Parker finally had a season where it wasn't bang all the whole season, that's still something. Like, you don't just go from being injured all the time and then you finally have a healthy season and then all worries are gone. So
yeah, well, it's the same thing with Gesicki. I mean, would you sign Gesicki again, knowing his contract's up?
Well, I hope that they re-up with Gesicki. He just needs to become, like Ball Game says, a better route runner. You know, out of breaks and different things like that. Like, he's a stride guy. He's a go-getter. He's going to get from point A to B, but how he gets there may not be the best sell in the world as far as getting wide open. And that's the thing with Gesicki, but you don't skip up on a talent like that. And it also depends on the price. You know, if you can get him at a good deal to remain in Miami, that's something you want to invest in. But if you can upgrade that position too, you do it, you know. But I'm good with Gesicki, but he has his flaws as well that we really don't talk about much at all. What's up, Keenum?
What's going on, TD?
I'm good, homie.
What's going on, bro?
Where you at?
What's up, Cap for life? I'm in Indiana. Miami fan all day.
So it's cold, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's cold, bro. I be climbing towers and whatnot. So, I got to stay strapped up.
Nah, I hear you, man. Doing your thing, man. Talk to us, man. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I like DeVonta Smith from the shows of it, but, it never works out when we draft a receiver that early. It never works out for us. So I really feel like we should go offensive line. If not offensive line, get somebody on the D-line. That way we can kick somebody in a rookie contract that we ain't got to spend for later on down the road. Because I really feel like that we're going to be looking for another quarterback in the next 5 or 6 years.
Why you say that?
I mean, I like Tua and all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against them. But it's not enough physical attributes to really hang your hat on.
It's like for me, sorry to interrupt, but I agree with TD at the end of the day, man. When it's all said and done, even though we have a conflicting interest about the quarterback situation, we still got to get depth. We don't have nobody else. I think Fitzpatrick's gone.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. I agree with you saying 100. That's why, you know what I'm saying, I kind of feel like, like we need to at least build the team a little more. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can have this quarterback all day, but if the team is not good, what good is he going to do? You can have a good team, and a mediocre quarterback will show every time. Just like Josh Allen in the game. You know what I'm saying? You saw his mediocreness. You saw it come out the game.
Let me break some of that.
Go ahead.
Let me break some of that down. So I want to start. I'm going to back up for a second. So first, let me say this about, we never draft a receiver that works out early, right? I'll put it like this. Let's try our best to get over our past traumas. Because it didn't. So I want to rephrase what you said. We never draft a receiver early that works out until it does. Okay. So at some point we want to correct that and actually get somebody that does. But I feel you on that. O-line ain't a bad deal. You can't lose. I think that's a bigger win than going receiver, because I don't put much merit in my football analysis in those positions over the trenches. But as far as needing another quarterback in 5 years, I'm never, like right now, I'm not going to be at any point where I'm going to say we are or we're not definitively. Again, quarterbacks make players better
right now, bro.
Quarterbacks make players better. But it's unfair to not think that players don't make quarterbacks better too. So even if he's not the guy, having what he needs around him could be enough. And I only care about enough to hoist that trophy.
Yeah, I mean, but that's everybody though.
Yeah, it's like you say though, man. We've gone all the routes. We've gone the running back route with Ricky. We've gone the receiver route with Brandon Marshall. We've gone the cornerback route with the Vontae Davis and Smith and Sean Smith. I mean, we've done all the stuff we can do at linebacker. We've manipulated everything on defense. At the end of the day, we need a franchise freaking quarterback after 21 attempts. I think it's valid to say that.
But I think it's too early to say that Tua can't be that, though.
No, I'm just saying, like, we experienced it. We experimented with Bill Lazor. Who else? The guy that was here, man, I forgot his name, man. The other the coordinator that came was with Saban, and he ended up having Farrat. That was the best offensive coordinator we had at the time. And I believe, you want to experiment with Gates and do that as an offensive experiment as well. But that didn't work either. So we've done every route on the offense. We just need a quarterback, man. You can name all the offensive coordinators you want. At the end of the day, you need a gunslinger, man.
Well, let's give him this year to determine if he can fill those shoes. Brent, I'm trying to bring you in, but we hear the echo. So it's making it distorted. Just FYI, I'm trying to bring you in next. If you're backstage, I need to be able to see you if you're backstage, okay? I need to be able to see you.
For some reason, I feel like a linebacker going to get injured this year, and it's going to hurt him.
Yeah, in the middle, It's in the middle.
going off of what Cap said, you know that a lot of mocks still have us in the like taking Micah Parsons.
Yo, I did a mock draft first time yesterday, and I ended up getting what's the other dude? Not Parsons, but the other guy. I forgot his name, man.
Talking about dude from BY?
No,
Zach
man.
Wilson. They got us linked with him too.
No, linebacker, man. I'm catching short term right now, man.
Oh, I know you're talking about. They get a chance to see him in the little
Senior Bowl.
Yeah. Well, no. Point being, you can get a linebacker in the middle third, man. Damn, I forgot this guy's name, man. But what would you do? What would you do, man, as far as your position and need in order?
No, for me, again, I think you're breaking. By the way, I think you're breaking up, Kenna. For me, what I would do is highest priority. I still need to get a tackle. I think again, Hunt needs to be moved on the inside, but I don't know what the coaches think about that. We do need another linebacker. I just don't know if Parsons is that guy. I can never rule out Parsons because we got a guy that fits that build right now. But Flores can be saying this is our replacement.
Yeah, but are they saying some controversy going on with Parsons and they were naming that other draft pick linebacker, middle linebacker? That they got him like a high tower version, they say, comparison. I forgot his name, man.
Yeah, I didn't check it out, but Parsons, the problem was he came out and said he prefers defensive end. Basically, he's more of a natural defensive end. But then that made me think, oh my gosh, that's even more of the reason why Miami would do something like that, because that's the guy that they might want to sit over there. I mean, I don't know, man. That versatility, because he was a great defensive end, and then at the linebacker position, he showed he could do it as well. So,
I mean, I just know, man, if we stick with Van Ginkel on the outside as opposed to the inside, and we stick with Baker on the outside, I think we'll be set on the edges. It's just, for me, we need somebody big in the middle, man, like a Patrick Willis type, like a Hightower type. You know what I mean?
Like I said, like I did in my video the other day, and I think this is who Keno was talking about. I'd rather get Collins, man.
Collins, bam! I got him yesterday in the third. I did a mock draft for the first time. I ended up getting 3 first-round picks, dude, and I got him with my third first-round pick late, and that dude was available, man. So it's like
you talking about the Tulsa linebacker.
Yeah, man. So I believe on the defense we're set, man. We got the corner set for life if we stick with Xavier. But, that middle linebacker spot has always been a question mark. You know what I mean? For me, it's just a win-win. We got the capital.
Shout out to G Firm with the donation. Said Marino had the Mark brothers, Duper and Clayton. Now let's make the DeVonta brothers happen. Parker and Smith, ASAP. Listen, I'm not opposed to it again, guys. And this is what I told y'all last week. I said the issue is Miami has too many forks. We have too many roads we can go down. It's so vast. Like, we can go 50 different scenarios if they trade out of the pick. We can go 10 different scenarios if they pick the pick. And also current players in the league trading for. All of that stuff is still
it's a win-win. It's a win-win. Alex, what do you think? Alex, you don't think it's a win-win as far as with free agency, manipulating what's going on in the media now with all these players that want to come here? Miami's hot right now. Miami's capital. Everybody wants it. What do you think?
I'm agreeing with you because everybody wants to come down here because of the culture that's being built here with the front office, and of course the nightlife as well. But of course, Flores is not gonna want that. But and also they could just throw money around to whoever they want, and cut loose whoever they want, and also throw some money. But I really do think that we need to draft DeVonta Smith with the 3rd overall pick. But
3rd overall, huh?
But if we trade out of that 3rd overall pick and we're able to get a first round this year and a first round next year, I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. Keep the train moving. Keep the train going with picks. Wow. Build through the draft. That's the main thing.
I personally want the Miami Dolphins to figure out a way where they can pick up an additional first round pick next year.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to trade out of 3 to about 7 or 8 with one of those teams, Lions, one of those teams.
Will overpay.
See if we can get their next year first round pick.
Exactly.
That way we'll have 2 first round picks next year in the event we do need insurance for any reason. Or just load up even more weapons and replace some of the veterans we got now. Like when you think about next year, you're going to be asking Calvin Noy, should we keep him or not? You see what I'm saying? Because I think he was on a three-year or something like that. You're going to be asking yourself, are you re-ing up on Ogba now or are you going into futures with them? There's other guys that you want to start to replace that are holding it down.
Man. This is where you and me and everybody is going to have a difference of opinion. And this is where I just feel like if you're going to go all in, might as well just go on in on the capital early in the rounds, man, and just get the weapons and reload with this kid now. Take care of the offensive line and the receivers on the free agency tip and just go all in now. If you're in the 3rd year of a rebuilding process with your 5, you're pretty much overachieved and you're really at a 5-year stage right now. Go all in, man. Don't be scared. I just don't understand why this fan base is so scared to be great sometimes.
Well, let me before I get to S. Brent, and then I'll come to you, Alex. I want to respond to that. I want to respond to that. So it's different ways to look at it, Cap. I don't know if it's really being scared, but I think this is the way our franchise should be long term, next 20, 40 years. Always keep rotating the talent out. Never fall in love, rotate. If you got the assets, like say we had everything we wanted right now, but we also have some expiring contracts in their prime. Shouldn't we be bringing in a replacement, even if at the end of the day we don't replace them? It's our job to bring in a replacement and hope that they live up to the build of the guy that we're eventually wanting to replace. And then if they do, we're able to move off of that high salary and plug that guy in. So I'm all in for going all out, but you still have to have something in the bucket. Look at the Houston Texans. They went all out, bro. They went all out. Do you see how a year and a half, what that did to them? Going all out can bankrupt you and have you starting from scratch again. So I understand what you mean by go all out, but I say go all out within means. Get him what he needs, but don't break the bank in the process of doing it. Always have some assets in reserve so that in the event something doesn't work out, you can because every year you're going to have a position that you need to fill, even if you're a Super Bowl team. So that's my take. S. Brent, what's going on, homie?
How's it going, guys?
Great, man.
How you doing?
Good.
What's your thoughts, man?
Well, here's my thoughts. My thoughts are Tua, I think, is going to be a good long-time quarterback. But the question is, can you wait long enough for him to get to that 3rd year Josh Allen with the team you have now? Can you sit and wait for him to develop for 1 or 2 more years to get you to a playoff level, and then you lose your complete defense?
Great point.
Well, I think that's why this season right here is all more critical. Okay, he has to be able to show a vast amount of improvement. I may get killed for this, but if I was to go on a scale of 1 to 10, Tua gave me a 5 this year.
Yeah.
Hey, it's your opinion, man. You should get killed for nothing. Your opinion is your opinion. I respect it.
I'm just prefacing it, but and some may say that you're overrating him in that, and some may say you're underrating him in that. But in my all fairness, I would give him a 5. But what I will say next year, I honestly don't need Tua to jump to an 8 next year. This may shock some people, but I don't even need him to jump to a 7. Give me a 6.5. Still have your struggles, but you also had a little bit more either consistency or took the right chances at times and made it happen. So if he can elevate his game to a 6.5, which is above average and it ain't great, that's progress. And I think that this team can survive with the 6.5 Tua. Super Bowl, maybe not, but playoffs, yeah. So let's let this year play out to see. We can't afford him having another 5 season. That's what I'll say. I don't care what excuse people have. I don't care if the O-line starts to go down due to injuries.
Give me a running game.
Receivers due to injury. We cannot have another 5 seasons.
Yeah, man.
I agree. You know, the other thing is this. Tua didn't have nobody this year. Parker was in and out of the lineup. Preston Williams gets hurt. Oh God, I'm ready to give up on Preston Williams. Honestly, he's hurt every year. So the last 2 years he's been hurt, but he's still young.
That means DeVonta wouldn't be here right now.
Yes, that's true. Also, if you give him weapons like Smith or Waddle or Allen Robinson, with Gesicki, I think he could have a very good season and we could reach the playoffs with at least maybe a championship game. Maybe I'm pushing it a little bit too far, I guess, with him, but I'm not ready to throw the towel on him yet.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. There's a stat that Larry gave me, Larry from FinFans panel. That dude blew me away when he told me when Gaskin touches the ball for more than 19 times, we're 6-0. You can't tell me we can't have a dominant run game to support him, man, and help him.
Did you guys know that Gaskin was the 3rd most productive running back in the NFL?
Well, let me talk about that real quick. We also have to recognize a lot of that came out of the shotgun or the pistol. Okay.
True, yeah.
In order to be long-term successful in this league, you're still at some point going to have to throw defenses off by having that quarterback under center at times. Also, let me say this. It's a combination. I was just going to bring up the run game. We can bring in whatever receivers we want. If we can't run the ball,
don't matter.
If defenses just play cover 2, something as simple as that, don't think there's going to be the level of success just because you got great receivers all the time. We have to be able to establish a run in the trenches between the tackles at times. It doesn't have to be consistent. We can be just like Mahomes and things like that. But what people have to understand is even when you bring in the right receivers, right? In a playoff game, I don't like talking about regular season, by the way. I really don't like talking about building our team for regular season. I like talking about building our team for the best competition, the best defenses, the best offenses. All this regular season stuff, I have all the confidence in the world that the Miami Dolphins can get 10, 11 wins every season if we bring in more talent around too. Okay? But none of that matters to me. What's going to happen in January when you're playing the best of the best? I don't want this team to build a team that at best is good enough to win the first round and nothing else. So when we really talk about the teams that just played this weekend, the 14, when you see the defenses that are about to be in the Super Bowl, how they play very tight coverage, you can be the best receivers in the league. In those games, you still get tight coverage and your quarterback has to make great throws. Okay? Josh Allen is going to get wide open guys all the time. But when you stop allowing them to be wide open and you bring pressure and he has to get rid of the ball fast, do you have the arm to thread the needle? Do you have the arm to place it where only your guy can get it? So this year, Tua didn't show that. So by bringing in all the weapons that everybody says that he needs, that doesn't mean that's going to matter when you go to an AFC championship game. Because even those guys are going to be tightly guarded. At some point, you still have to pull the trigger in the tightest of windows and show why you're going to be the GOAT one day. And it's that simple. So that's why I want to see those attributes in Tua. We got to be able to establish the run to make life easier for him throwing the ball, because you can run the ball. Play action is going to bring more separation. It's going to help out immensely. What you got on that, Brent?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think, you got to build the lines. I think both offensive and defensive lines, they're so underrated. If you have that solid, you're going to have a decent team. I'm worried about the length of time that it'll take for a Tua. I mean, if it was my dream scenario, everyone's talking Watson's, I'd be calling Green Bay and saying, what do you want for Aaron Rodgers, personally? It's not going to happen. That would be my dream job thing, though.
You saw him on Pat McAfee today?
No, I missed it on McAfee. I got to watch that later.
Yeah, he didn't sound too concrete solid on coming back.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
Brent, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Well, first off, calling Green Bay, that's a far-fetched one, because I believe you would need to include Tua in it, but then they got Jordan Love sitting over there as well, so it's
you need to do a three-way trade or something, maybe. But I think that would be my dream.
But let me ask you this, S. Brent.
Yeah.
What did Aaron Rodgers need to win a Super Bowl in Green Bay this year?
We saw, man. Good question.
He needed a better defense.
His defense is horrible.
A better defense?
Yeah.
Kevin King, horrible. He had no defense, and he didn't even have a number 2 receiver. Martez Valdez-Scantling is not even. I don't think is a good number 2.
And I think some of the play calling he just gave up on. He's like, "Oh, that's what you want to call? Let's do it." I don't think he was totally bought in. I think he wants out of there. I don't think we could get him, but if you can have a proven quarterback, that's the most proven quarterback you're going to have since Marino. And I was a Dolphins fan back since '83. Yeah, I love the Marino days, but we didn't win any championships. We haven't won a championship since the '70s.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man.
Everyone talks Marino, but he didn't win us anything. I mean, he was great.
What about Stafford?
No, I don't. I think you just stay with 2 of them.
No, guys. No, wait. I don't want to be out of base here. Time out for me with everything you guys are doing, because it makes no sense to name any other quarterbacks that you guys are discussing if we already went through hell the past 2 weeks with a guy that we know is a top 5 quarterback. You know what I mean? It baffles me. We're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford, who are elite quarterbacks in their own mindset. But if we do mention them, we're going to start World War III again down here.
Well, Cap. Let me tell you why. Well, first off, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's just not likely. But Aaron Rodgers and a receiver, it's appealing, but it's no difference to me than Deshaun Watson and a receiver or something, right? But I'm not even trying to go down this road with y'all. But I have to say, but Cap, I have to push back on it slightly, and here's why. There is a difference. I don't want Stafford. Let me say that first. But I will say this. There is a difference with Stafford and the rest of those guys. They've come out and said that they've mutually decided to part ways, which reduces the price. Okay?
Yes.
Also, he's not Watson or Rodgers, which reduces the price. So you actually could get a steal with a guy like Stafford and literally still load the roster. See, nobody can say anymore, "Oh man, you be giving up everything." No.
But you know what? Nobody can say anything, because you know what? At the end of the day, if those quarterbacks end up with the Patriots and the Jets, nobody can say jack. And we're going to have to load up real quick, because we're going to have a crap load of opposition to go up against. It'd be good for Buffalo to get their butt kicked.
That's my biggest concern, y'all. Imagine Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, and Aaron Rodgers in the AFC East, and none of them are on the Miami Dolphins.
I see Stafford going to New England, personally. I think that's where he'll go.
But did you hear what I just said? Imagine Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, and Aaron Rodgers in New England, because Bill had to have learned a lesson after Brady's going now. Imagine all three of those guys in the AFC East and none of them with the Dolphins. Let me tell you why that's that would be depressing for us. Because it's not about us playing them head to head. What it's about is the fact that they're going to have more wins respectively regardless, which makes 10 times harder to make the playoffs. I mean, we can beat them twice, but they can run the table in the league. All of that is a risk. So you do rely on the rest of the league also to suppress your closest enemies. And
exactly.
And then we're talking about the two teams that have like top 5 most money in the NFL next year, Patriots and the Jets. They're going to make a splash at quarterback, both teams. They're going to gear up weapons, both teams. And people need to worry about our division. And I mean, we keep talking about, as long as we build the right way, we'll be fine. There's 31 other teams that are building. What if they build the right way? Then it's all even. You got to show an advantage somehow. You see what I'm saying? So don't just think that the way that we're doing it is the ultimate way to win it all in 10 years. Go ahead, Alex. Oh, he paused.
I'm sorry about that, bud.
No, you're good. I'm coming to you, Caden.
But
Alex keeps pausing. So, Caden, man, what's going on, man?
Mention that because
much. How about you?
I'm great, man. Talk to us. What's your thoughts on all this?
I don't know. I just think, like, with Tua and all that, I honestly think we just need to put all the pieces around him, like DeVonta Smith and whatnot. I think this year, what happened and all, like, the COVID and whatnot and all that stuff and the shortened off season, I think if Tua gets another, like, if he gets an actual off season, I think he can be something great. And I know people say that Burrow and Herbert, that they didn't have the same thing and they were better, but I think since Tua came off that injury, he was at more of a disadvantage than those two guys. And so I think coming into the next year, he'll be better.
And that's what we're all hopeful of, A lot of people are hopeful that that's what happens. We've been in similar situations before, not so much with the injury. I think a lot of people are just worried about what if it doesn't go down like that, Caden? What would you do?
If he doesn't prove, not if he doesn't prove, but if he doesn't show me any like progression and getting better, I would honestly think about getting a free agent quarterback to compete, or go trade for a quarterback, or go get someone in the draft.
Who's going to take number one, Caden?
At that point next year, all your assets are gone, like valuable ones that can actually pull it off. So it's like, what do you do? Do you say, hey, we'll give somebody our first round picks for the next 3 years to get a quarterback at that point who's still not proven in the draft?
TD, let me ask you something.
Uh-huh.
Here's the issue I have with the draft and kind of the issue I have with Tua. When you're taking these players from Alabama, LSU, the big schools, they're playing – it's like them playing high schools. So it's hard to really rank these guys because they got the best of the best around them at all times.
I always say that.
It's I think Smith would be a good pickup, but again, it's the Tua thing. It's you're playing with the best of the best, and then you go to the NFL where everyone is the best.
Hey,
and
I have to talk about that real quick. Let me read this comment first. Joel said, agree with Caden. There's a huge difference between rehabbing and building on your craft. Build around Tua. Okay. Which I agree. We are going to build around Tua. I believe we are. But they will consider other options. But about what S. Brent just said. So let me ask you this. Because here's what's funny about that, right? I always talk about Tua had all the best talent around him, right? So in Alabama, don't they have like 3 of the top receivers every year? So every defense they play, every single defense they play, first of all, many of them don't even have a top corner that they're playing against. And if they do have a top corner, it's like pick your poison. So even with the guy, and I'm not ragging on DeVonta because I think he's a great talent. You can't teach speed, right?
Yeah.
But even DeVonta Smith, isn't it like field day all day? You know, you're running loose and running wild, and you know, every defense you play, they may have one great corner at best. And he may be on me sometimes, he may not be on me sometimes, you know? So it's the same effect. I think the kid's going to be good. But if he doesn't come in this league and giving you 1,000 off rip or not even giving you 700 off rip, I'm not going to be shocked.
Yeah, the SEC, man. The SEC, all you hear about the SEC is the offense on the SEC. But their defense, you don't really hear a lot about. But everybody in the SEC, the offense is supposed to be money in the draft.
But the SEC used to be known for defense, though.
Yep.
They used to be. So that's my thing. If he comes in and they're blanketing him in coverage and he just can't get off and, you know, and it's just not the same as it looked in college, it's just going to be another case of proving that guys can be a product of everything around them. That's why it's tough. You know, look at Najee Harris. Najee Harris is an excellent talent, but we're not going to sit here and act like he doesn't have beautiful holes over a lot of the other running backs in the league, you know? So it's tough, man. It's hard to and it's not their fault that you really can't truly get a gauge on how great they are against great players because they're just surrounded by great talents. So it's hard, man. I'm one of those individuals. I may disagree with it, but if everybody wants to do it, let's do it so that we can either say whether or not it was right or wrong. At the end of the day,
I just don't want a Josh Heupel situation. You know what I mean? If that's what you're referring to.
What? Say that one more time.
Josh Heupel. When we drafted Josh Heupel, he was all hype in the Orange Bowl, but it was a contributing factor to his offense.
It always happens that way. It's the best players on the best team that always they're high prospects. The next thing you know, it's just not working out in the NFL. It's just not. So it is what it is, man. But then on top of it, here's what you don't want to fall into as well. When you do put everything around them, like you expect, like think about us putting Patrick Mahomes' weapons around Tua, right? Tua wouldn't have looked that way last year.
No.
This year that just passed. He would have had a lot more success. At a minimum, I would have said that he already gave us 6.5. But I'm sorry, y'all. I don't like that the weapons are moving his grade versus him moving his grade. It's funny to me that but here's why, Cap. It's funny that everybody says, oh, he's a guy that need everything around him. He'll never carry a team. We've criticized so many quarterbacks because they needed everything around them because they aren't the type of guy to carry a team. But all of a sudden, Dolphin Nation says we need to get everything around him. So are we admitting that he can't carry the team? So that's where I kind of get conflicted in it.
I mean, it's a toss of 50-50 for me, man. It's conflicting for me because what you're saying is it should matter. But, you know, to be fair, everybody went down. This team started falling apart by like week 9.
But, Cap, here's the gauge on that, Cap.
I can't trust Grant.
But here's the gauge on that, Cap. You tell me, all three of y'all tell me right now, is there any quarterback in the NFL? I understand Tua was a rookie, but I just want you to answer this question. Is there any quarterback in the NFL that could have had the same thing Tua had last year and been more successful?
From when he started?
Yes.
Man.
Well, Brady.
I can probably name 10 of them. I can probably name 10 quarterbacks that would have been more successful. Look at Deshaun Watson. Everybody's talking about record, but Deshaun Watson's record is a direct correlation with that defense. Deshaun Watson put up 4,800 yards, barely threw interceptions, had over 30 touchdowns. And you can't sit here and tell me he had that much better of an offense.
Well, he had a little bit better of an offense.
A little bit better, but at the same token, look at the correlation here, man.
That's true.
That's a guy who still is going to perform at a high level. See, if we won 2 games, let me tell you why it doesn't matter, Alexander. If we won 2 games this year and Tua put up 4,800 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, you think anybody would be talking about Tua? You think there would be an issue? We won 2 games. You think they'll be yelling, "Oh, but he's 6-3. Why y'all hating?" If we won 2 games, they wouldn't be saying he was 2-14. They would be saying the man put up 4,800. The man had 36 touchdowns. He had blah blah blah. See, so people switch their narrative to fit what they feel because they want to rag other people. Tua went 6-3. That guy went this and that. Well, he was better. Well, how you gonna say he was better than Tua? But if Tua had been the one that won 2 games and threw for 4,800 yards, they wouldn't have brought record up at all. They'd have been like, it ain't his fault. He did his job. So if Watson was, and Watson, whatever, he ain't coming to Miami. He ain't coming to Miami. We'll see. But if Watson was in Miami this year, would we be in the playoffs?
Yeah.
You don't really want me. You don't want me to answer that, man. You really don't want me to answer that.
I don't really know.
You don't know.
Well, you don't know.
One game,
I know.
Watson would not lose that Denver game. Watson would not lose that Denver game whatsoever. It just wouldn't happen.
No.
It wasn't going to happen. We would have had probably, and it's hard to gauge because you had fits in the game and stuff as well. So, and we didn't have a full season with Tua. So, I'm not comparing them in that regards, but I do know if Watson was our starting quarterback from week 1, we'd have won 12 games this year. I'm very confident we would have. We probably wouldn't have lost the Patriots game to start out with. That thriller with Buffalo in the first game with Buffalo that we lost by 3 points.
I go bold enough. I go bold enough and say we would have won Seattle too.
I was just gonna say that. I could almost guarantee we would have won the Seattle game. I was just gonna say that. So, and this isn't to say, Tua was a rookie, so I'm not putting that expectation on him. All I'm saying is this is why he has to make the improvement. He can't stay stagnant. But it bothers me that we want to see his improvement based off of what we bring him versus him just making raw improvement. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We can't get – see, that's another thing. If Tua has a little bit more success with so much more weapons, that's not a good improvement. If you're bringing everything he needs, then we probably do need to see a 7+ Tua on a scale of 1 to 10. So that's all I'm saying.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one, man. It's a catch-22, man.
If your quarterback grew or the team around him grew. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem that we're going to face, ladies and gentlemen. When we bring everything we need around him, if there is improvement, we really don't know if he's improved or the team around him improved. If the run game got better to carry more of the load. If we went up on offense faster and now he can be a little freer. It's a lot of factors in this game. So I for one, believe it or not, low-key want Tua to be the guy next year. As Flores them say, he's our starter. I want to see this work out with him and the weapons around him. But there is a level of improvement and things that we have to see that says he actually improved. Okay? We can't have a few less drops, think about it. Say we didn't drop the ball, right? And we cut our drops in half, right? The truth is, it's still the same Tua we saw this year. I'm not mad at him for when he threw the ball and it was dropped. His evaluation doesn't come from how many completions he had. I'm going off of what I saw with him on the field. If we didn't drop the ball and we made the playoffs, it's still the same evaluation I have of him this year. It doesn't change because a guy dropped the ball. You see what I'm saying? So the team can be more successful, but did he improve? That's what's going to matter. That's why I'm not with this, get him everything he needs. That's a little tricky, but I'm for it if it's going to help the team. So
I definitely think you can go.
no, that was it. I was just saying we'll see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely think Tua has some things to improve on, especially with like how open receivers are in the NFL versus college. I definitely think he needs to force some balls into some tighter spaces.
Yeah.
And when you say force, I don't even think it's forcing. There's sometimes if you know the route, you know where your guy's going to end up, and you know how the defense is playing it, throw the ball. Like I showed y'all on film that time, Gesicki on a simple 5-yard out. You already know he's running an out, and you already know he has inside leverage, so the ball can't get picked off. That ball should be on the way simultaneously when he's breaking. But you waited till he broke. Then, okay, he got open on that break and then threw the ball. He has to be better with timing. Take it to your room, okay? He has to be better with timing. Let me ask y'all a quick question, man. What do y'all think about Smith's size, though? Is that an issue for y'all?
I don't think so. Because what he's what 6 foot, right? Or 5'10", 5'11", right? Right around there.
They keep comparing him to Marvin Harrison, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Speed wise, it's great.
But yeah, Marvin Harrison was like 6 foot. But I don't see it as a problem because you have guys like Tyreek Hill who was 5'9" in the league, and also Curtis Samuel who was 5'10", you know, and they're having success. So I don't see it as a size, as a problem with the size.
Well, here's the deal. I want y'all to read this comment. This is what concerns me. He's every bit of 170 pounds. Alabama has him listed at 175. Every time a college team has a player listed at a skill position, you take away 5 pounds. I'm going to tell y'all that now, okay? That's why he refused to weigh in, because he's not 175, he's about 170. That's pretty typical. Most teams list him a little bit higher. But in press coverage against aggressive corners, that does scare me. Like guys with that kind of frame, they can be moved off of their spot at ease. Like literally, an aggressive physical corner will move him off of his spot at ease. I mean, no resistance. And think about what happens in Alabama. Do you ever think he gets jammed at the line of scrimmage?
No.
No, that speed.
No, he don't.
It's full. You say, yeah, he do?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, I thought you said, yeah, he do. I was going to say, man, I need to go watch some film.
No, bro. Oh, yeah, by the way, nice to meet all you guys. What's up with you?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm actually going to come to you in a little bit. I'm going to come to you after this. But listen, that 4 speed gets to show every bit of what it's about at Alabama. In the NFL, he's still going to be able to show it at times on teams that can't match up. But teams that match up, when you play against Tampa the way they are, teams like that, you see how Tampa plays, right? Oh, that's going to be an issue.
Press coverage, yeah.
And that's what concerns me. That messes up the timing and everything. Try calling a go route and Tua ready to let it fly, and you get jammed at the line of scrimmage. That could take a full second off of your route. The timing is off and everything. That's why it can be concerning. But he's the type of guy he's going to eat in the regular season. It's only in the biggest game everybody going to be shocked out their world. Like, man, where's Smith? He need to make a play. It's on the biggest game against a physical defense where all that's going to be thrown out of the window. They're going to rave about, yeah, Smith, 1,400 yards, Pro Bowl, AFC Championship come around. Man, we behind. Smith need to make a play. And you wonder why he ain't nowhere to be found. Because them corners, they going to say in that championship game, I want y'all to eat him alive. But he got time to put on size. It ain't hard to put on 10 pounds in the NFL. Once you get in the league, that plan, it ain't hard. But I'm going to come to you, Ashton. Talk to me, man.
Bro, yeah, like I said, how y'all doing? I'm from New Orleans. It's tough being a Dolphins fan down here.
My bad, you broke up. Say it again.
Oh, you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans. It's tough being a Dolphins fan down here.
I bet. Well, we got the game in New Orleans next year. I might come to it.
Most definitely. I already told. Put it this way, I'm the only Dolphins fan in my family. Period. Everyone else is a Saints fan.
Wow.
Quick story. Reason being, I was a Ricky Williams fan. I followed Ricky to Miami, and I just stuck with him.
Hey, bro. Smart guy.
Hey,
ends up, we stole one.
Guys,
most definitely.
I want to ask y'all a question.
Real quick, though. Kevin Lee said they got to catch him first. Bro, you ain't got to catch nobody from the line of scrimmage. You talking about if it's bump and run in your face, what you mean catch? That speed means nothing on the get off. But I will tell you this. That's why the offensive coordinator got to be creative. Why you think Kansas City run those trip bunches and stuff and have their speedy guys off the line of scrimmage so that they can automatically have that cushion, that room to make a move early on. So that's all in scheming. You bring a guy like that in, you want to run a lot of bunch sets, twin sets where it's stacked, different stuff like that to get them off and get that speed running. But go ahead. Who is that? Go ahead.
I got one question.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
If we do bring in the receiver, that means we're gonna have too many. Somebody gonna have to go. We can't have all the receivers unless you want to put them on the practice squad.
So who do you think will be first to go?
Honestly, bro. Grant. Everyone, Grant, bro. I think he'll go first.
Agreed.
Yeah. Grant can't even catch a cold.
Yeah.
Who you telling, man? Who you telling?
He's like a Sean Smith.
Yeah,
you gotta go, bro. Also, I want to bring this up to y'all. We keep saying bringing in the receiver and the cornerback, a receiver and the offensive lineman, but I found one weakness on our defense that kind of just need to be fixed. The weakest corner we have was Nick Needham. As y'all saw in the last game, he was getting burned. He was getting burned.
I have to say something about Nick Needham because people. Hold on, Carter. Hold on. I have to say this.
That's the only game, but that's the only game he really got burned though. But that last game was just awful.
Yeah, people keep ragging on Nick Needham, and people got mad that I said he was my most improved from last year. He has
improved. I'll give you that.
And let me explain that for a second. Take it to your room, okay? Okay, you can put it on here. There you go.
And I can't watch TV.
Yeah. All right, but
you had him like most improved overall.
No. I said like surprising most improved guy. Let me explain why. There's a stat out that says Nick Needham allowed 140-something% passer rating, which is terrible, right? But let me break that down for y'all. This is where numbers lie. Nick Needham improved his numbers across the board, by the way. Last year he allowed 43 catches. This year he allowed 42 catches. But he also reduced the yards per catch and the yards after the catch. And let me tell you what's important. He allowed a lot of completions, which is going to hurt your quarterback rating against. But how many times was it 3rd and 8 and they passed it for 4 yards and Nick Needham was there for the tackle and they ended up 2 yards short and they punted the ball?
He was there he was there like 65% of the time. I watched every single game this season.
That's what I'm saying. He may have allowed the completion, but he made the tackle and they still punted the ball. You see what I'm saying? In the past, Nick Needham allowed a completion and the first, then the tackle. So yeah, numbers will tell you, he one of the worst in the league with passer rating against. That's only because that slot guy, which is the hardest position to play, in my opinion, the slot corner, they allow a lot of receptions. It's not easy, but it's a matter of if you're there on the hip to make the stop. And he made a lot of stops. And that's
he just get beats off. He just get beats off the ball a lot. If he can stick with him, but anytime someone hits him with a double move, he's gone. He gets burned.
But he's gotten better in recovery though.
Yeah,
but when they hit him with that double move, I've seen it every year. Like, come on, bro, you're right there, but by a second. He's behind them by 1 second or a yard. I'm like, dang, bro, you almost got him.
But when you also look at it, it's always against a guy that they move on the inside because they can't get nothing on the outside. Just like Diggs, they were moving Diggs around on the inside slot, trying to take advantage of stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Those outside guys get locked down, then they start being creative and moving them on the inside. So believe it or not, Needham has went against number one receivers quite a bit this season because that's what they do.
Iganagami has been like irrelevant.
To only his defense, we put him in on step. We put him in the first time we played Buffalo against Stephon Diggs. That was just unfair. That was unfair.
Day one, yeah.
That was unfair.
Going to improve. I really do. Igbenogany is going to be a much improved player next year. Watch.
Oh, most definitely.
We hope so.
Wasn't Nick Needham? But wasn't Nick Needham a top 10 slot corner at one point? Before?
Yes,
I could have sworn he was top 10 in first coverage.
But you have to. Let me say this: the last game of the season screwed up a whole bunch of people's stats.
Most definitely. I want to forget last game. I was so that was just bad.
Do you know how many L's people took off of one game? Like they went from being ranked number 1 to number 8.
I think Buffalo ran up the score on purpose in that game.
Of course they did. They did the same thing to New England a week or two before that, just to make a statement in the AFC. But we gonna get them back. They gonna pay for it.
But
next season, I hope we beat them like they stole something. Oh, we beat them like they stole something.
Well, I hope so. Let me ask y'all another question real quick.
Hey, TD.
What's up,
Jamari.
Jamari, my bad.
What's up, Jamari?
What's up?
Hey, real quick, guys. So, what y'all think about the offensive coordinator situation right now?
Charlie.
Wait, who are our top candidates? Anyone knows?
We
don't know anything.
Right now, I think we lost half of them. We lost half of the other teams.
Hamilton is one of them, but I don't know. I don't know why don't they want to interview Ken Dorsey? His name's been thrown a lot out there, but
let me ask you a question, Alexander. Why should they interview Ken Dorsey? Watch this.
I think Ken Dorsey is the up and coming coach. Look what he did for Josh Allen. Look what he did.
Hold on. You think he did it?
No, I don't want him.
No, I think he had a lot to do with it with Brian Dable.
Maybe we should bring Adam Gase back because of what he did for Peyton Manning.
No, TD, that was a dark timeline. Don't bring up Gates. No, I hate Adam Gates with every fiber of my being. I hate him.
Listen, my thing is Ken Dorsey, I'm not opposed to. I think he is a good coach. But I don't get too sold on these coaches because you say, well, look what he did with Josh Allen. How long Dorsey been there?
I think this is his second year, I think. But
think about it, though, man. Look at Byron Leftwich. He's got 2 years in Tampa Bay, and he's already getting praised as an offensive coordinator guru. That's all Brady. You know that, and I know that.
That always happens with a coordinator that got every weapon to their disposal. It amazes me. Then when they go to a team that don't have every weapon to their disposal, they look like boo-boo trash. We always give them credit for having weapons and everything. Show me somebody who moved numbers. Show me a Brian Flores like he did with this defense last year. Show me an up-and-coming coach that's doing stuff like that don't have it all and they making something out of it. But
go ahead.
That's Dorsey.
I think Flores is taking time. Flores probably know who he wants, but he's just trying to keep it under wraps.
Let me
help
y'all understand something.
I have a question.
I'm gonna come to you right after this, Jamari.
All right.
Do y'all know how many coaches there are in this league?
32. Not 32. What do you want? We count every position?
They are literally almost 800 coaches in this league.
That's a lot.
Do you see what I'm saying? There's talent out there. You got to find the guys who know how to move results. Move all these. Who's out here taking undrafted players and making them starters? Who out here turning your fifth and sixth and seventh round picks into starters? You
New
see what I'm
Orleans
saying?
Saints, you ever have it? New Orleans Saints do that a lot.
But we keep on talking about first round picks and the guy who made them look good. But yet, the same year he looked good, you brought him in the receivers, the O-line, and all. Come on.
That's what I guess.
Question.
And Peyton Manning.
Are we what about the Green Bay Packers assistant offense coordinator? What about him?
Listen, again, I think a huge part
I don't know. I'm
is
just guessing. I'm just guessing, TD.
I think it's that. See, you also can't go off of just because it's a successful offense. That's another.
No, I'm just talking. I know. I'm just. He's been there. He's been there for a while, and he actually works hands on with them and then help them improve and get their ideas and stuff.
So we also have to recognize the offensive coordinator isn't just about the quarterback. It's about
everything. It's about everybody.
People need to understand the offensive coordinator has one primary job outside of the play calling and all of that. But their number one job is to develop the coaches under them. Yep. Get them to coach the guys under them. See, everybody think the offensive coordinator is directly correlated with the players. Yep. That couldn't be further away from the truth. His job is to make sure that he's developing his coaches to move results. And if you want your quarterback better, you need to talk about the quarterback coach. You want better receivers, you need to talk about who we bringing in at the receiver coach. There are position coaches that's better than the OCs. And that's why they go off OC jobs.
Since you said receiving coach, I think it was a big loss for us when I forgot his name. Our receiving coach took the head coaching job at, I think it was Colorado or Colorado State. That was a big loss, in my opinion.
But you have to expect that though. You got
he did a great job. I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for him, but it was kind of a big loss.
Do you know? Let me put it like this. Do you know what gauges the offensive coordinator's success? How many people he can lose to promotions? That's what tells you if it's a successful offensive coordinator and whether they need to be a head coach. How many people he lose due to success? That's when you got a good offensive coordinator. So whoever we bring in, we just hoping that he lose people often. It hurts, but he should be able to develop the new one. You see what I'm saying?
But it's always hard to find a guy that will develop talent. Some people are just there for a paycheck. We gotta find like the right guy.
I had to quickly add something before I had to leave.
No, go ahead.
Getting DeVonta Smith, I gotta say it's gonna be interesting next season because somehow we went to 5-11 to 10-6. Not bad for a rebuild.
Oh, most definitely. I was shocked.
I have a gut. And when you guys say you trade Jakeem Grant, I would have disagreed because Jakeem Grant got the speed. Like he's fast. He's great at punt returns.
Only issue he can't catch the ball.
Yeah, he can't catch the ball. I get that point, but
I've always said, look, I've said since like week 9. If you're gonna keep him on special teams and you put Bowden in the slot, I don't think that's a big issue whatsoever. He just needs to learn to take the pay cut. If he's not gonna take a pay cut, reconstruct whatever you need to do. But you gotta come to the realization that special teams is where you need it. In my opinion.
Yes,
mm-hmm. But also, we also did draft Malcolm Perry. That could be his replacement. I'm just speculating right there.
I have a sucky feeling that we some way win the division and go to the AFC Championship this year or next year.
Well, I hope so. I hope we make the most of your assumptions. And Andrew with the donation. Go ahead, bro. Now, Andrew with the donation said, "I love your channel, TD. You don't suck up to these Tua and Bama fans for subs." I'm gonna leave that one alone, man. I'm always keep it 100 so I can know where my team is. But shout out to all the Bama and Tua fans. We love y'all too. All right. We just know that if we traded him tomorrow, you wouldn't be Dolphin fans no more. So shout out to all the ones that would still be Dolphin fans. Love y'all, man. Love y'all.
My last final words is I don't care which player we get. I just want to win the division and have a home playoff game. That's all I want.
Hey, man, Jamari,
Man, I agree with that.
Hey, at the end of the day, guys, it's about winning. All this stuff about draft picks, free agency, and all that stuff. Look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay went all in on free agents. Leonard Fournette, who else? Ndamukong Suh, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, Tom Brady. All these guys reconstructed, took a pay cut to go for the Super Bowl to help that defense. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
And all of them,
all I ever want is
they'll be able to sustain that for the next 2 years, by the way.
Honestly, personally, y'all, I would love to have an AFC championship shirt, or please, I would love to have one. I don't have. I would love to have a Dolphins 8 divisional championship shirt.
Super Bowl.
Either one. I would love to have either one shirt because what we won. When the last time we won 72? I wasn't even thought of. I was
born in 90.
I was born in 94.
Oh. Man, I was born in 78, man.
So I need a trophy this era. I can't go off that.
Yeah.
I wasn't born in that era. I gotta go off this era.
Look. I'm about patience. Don't get me wrong.
Me too, man. Most definitely, I agree with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with going balls to the wall in the first round, in my opinion. You got the arsenal to do it. Give this guy weapons, man. I don't want no more excuses. We got the offensive line. We got the defensive line. We set the trenches. We got the foundation set. Get the weapons for this kid. Stop making excuses because the Patriots and the Jets are coming.
Yep. The Bills are coming too. I hate to say it, even though that Allen is trash, but they got Diggs and they got weapons around Allen now. So yeah, the Bills are coming. So I think we should do the first round with the third pick is get Sue. Or the guy from Oregon, the offensive line guy. I was paid. I was looking more at his film. I was looking at way more at his Walter Jones from Seattle. He's what he reminds me of. He's an inch taller and he's about 20 pounds heavier. So I'm thinking that offensive line guy from Oregon is what we need to get.
I'm fine with it. This is the thing. I trust Flores and I trust Chris Greer. What they've done, people say, people thought we were going to take forever to rebuild. They turned it around. I believe in what they're doing. Yep. So my trust is in them.
Oh yeah, I need an offensive line guy from
logo, baby. What's going on? Thank you, CD, for having me on. How's everybody doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up?
Not much, man. Happy to be up here with you guys. And I just heard. I want to know how much Ashton actually trusts Chris Greer after all the moves. Or for just one season.
Think about it. He's been with the organization for very, very long. He worked his way up to where he is, and he went to go get a guy. He didn't go get a random guy. He went to go get the guy he knew that can turn stuff around. And he's making the right moves. And if you're not gonna be there, they're gonna cut you. I hate to mention his name, but Mika Fitzpatrick, they got him the heck out of there. I know my boy Dudley do wrong. Don't want to mention his name, but I will.
Yeah, I don't like when Mike Tomlin told me. Yeah, when Mike Tomlin told us that was football justice for him to go over there. That was not football justice. Get out of here when you're saying that. He didn't want to play for us because he knew we were going to be, a little on the bad side. So we'll take your first round pick.
Finch 209. We know what's going on with Minka Fitzpatrick down here. You don't know the half of it. Pete.
You know what? Minka Fitzpatrick is a heartbreaker to even talk about. At the end of the day, that draft is just hard. I don't want to talk about it. But my thing with Greer is, it's hard to trust because you know how it really goes. You can't really trust. You can't really evaluate the drafted players until they're like 3 years in, right? So if
he's not Ireland, he's not Tannenbaum. I'm just gonna say that.
No, I know that's true, but when you try to judge him from his picks from 2016, 2017, and now 2018, and then you can even add 2019, that's 4 seasons of Greer draft.
No, he didn't draft. Wait, how he hasn't been the GM that long.
No, he's been the GM since 2016.
Has he really? Hold up, wait.
No.
Let me see.
Personnel. Greer been responsible. You can give him
More
3
than 20 years.
It's
He's
really
been there
2.
for 20 years.
Yeah, but we're talking about personnel. It's really 2.
Yeah, he's been there
You
20
can
years
give him
as a
3
scout.
because he was more involved with the decision making before we fired Gates.
TD is
Correct.
right.
Gates.
No.
Bro, I don't
Sounds
know
like
about you guys,
Skeletor.
So a
but
brand new pair of headphones broken.
Oh man, no, hey, bro.
No, what?
You say how they broke?
Oh
You
shit.
say how they broke? Say
Yeah.
hi. Say hi.
Hey, man.
Hey, I just
Hey,
walked
you
right
man.
here. I just walked
Yeah,
right
yo, I
in
got
here.
one question for TD though. I got one
You
question.
got the ankle
Hey
hey,
TD.
the ankle attacking, bro.
Here, throw in the
Hey
trash.
TD.
You owe me
I
$50.
like, yo, TD, this all season you gonna do a collab with Doug?
Yeah, we do a few a year.
Oh, cool.
Man.
Reason being, I always enjoy when you two collab. It's just great. It's just like It's just like
hey,
everything.
yin and yang.
It's like pure Dolphins fans coming together. It's just great.
We actually about to link up soon. You know, he just had his newborn. Congrats again.
Oh, I
on
know.
that,
I'm
bro.
happy for him. I'm so happy for him.
You know, he got to do everything he can to, hold the house down. So
I'm so happy for him.
We talk all the time, man, but we're gonna link up soon and do something collab wise.
As he said, that you're his brother. You're his brother, and that couldn't be further from the truth.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Man, this Miles, what's up, Miles?
What's up, TD?
Hey, that's Miles Johnson.
First time
Shout
I
out
put
to
a face to
Miles.
Miles.
What's up, TD? How's it going, guys?
Great, man. Talk to us, man. What's on your mind?
Hey, so basically, I don't know about you guys, but I know we ended the season 5-11 last year, but the way we ended that season, it was a little bit exciting. The way we ended the season, the way our team fought, I just knew that Brian Flores was the right guy. And then coming into this season, we went 10-6, and we were one game out. We were one game shy of making the playoffs. We had zero playoff expectations going into the year. So just the people that are, I know it's a little upsetting that we almost made the playoffs and we were so close, but we weren't even supposed to be close coming into the season, and we finished 10-6. So I think next year's expectations, it should be contending for AFC Championship, because I think we have the team to do it, and we have the draft picks and the free agency money, and I just think Brian Flores and Chris Greer are building this team really well.
I agree with you, Miles. If I just wanted a little step, my thing was, it's you're right. My expectations weren't playoffs at all.
No.
And I think that could go for almost every fan here. Absolutely none. But then when you started to see the team unfold, you got the playoff hope because you seen that they actually put up a product that can fight and compete in every game. And that right there is what really set the whole tone on for the AFC East, because the Dolphins were still supposed to be in rebuild, the laughingstock. And we shocked not only ourselves, but the whole world. So I'm very proud of that.
That's true.
And hopefully we can continue to build, like you said, Miles, whatever route we go. This is going to be the most interesting offseason. It doesn't matter. And it's just, hopefully we can continue to build, like you said.
You got it in treasure.
Go get more.
I don't know about you guys, but this is the most nervous and exciting I've been since 2006. Going into the 2006 season, we had that rock star defense with Sayal, Thomas, Madison, Surtain. We had that run game with Ricky Williams, and I loved Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss. I said, man, if he could get over the injury and come in and at least do half of that, we're going to do some things. And we saw how that turned out. And I think that's why a large part we're all worried and skeptical on Tua, man. It's been 20 years. TD and Finsanity said it perfect the other day, man. We are over here stressing because we don't want to stay in the same funk, man.
And you know what? Let me add a little bit. Let me add it. We actually did come into the season with no playoff implications. But what we hoped was for Tua to show us promise to build around him. And that's where the fan base, at least to me, is divided with this, because some say they seen something special, and at least for me myself, I seen, you know, a quarterback get benched 3 times in 9 games, and that speaks itself for the volume itself. So that's what worries me moving on. That's it.
Was
Nothing
it
else
3
on this
times
team.
or 2 times?
About what?
He got benched 3 times, right? He got benched
3 times.
No, he got benched.
Denver,
Denver,
New England,
New England,
and that's it, right?
Las
Everybody
Vegas,
keeps
Las
saying
Vegas, Las Vegas,
And
Las Vegas,
Raiders.
He didn't get benched
Las
against
Vegas.
the Patriots.
The Miami
Raiders, yeah.
Miracle point 2.
You know,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
He got benched for the Vegas Raiders,
Yeah, it was
TD.
just 2. It was just 2.
Man, I was just arguing with somebody
It was
saying
3.
they lied. It would only happen twice.
It was 3.
Put your trains together.
It was
Okay? So let
3.
me-
I got one question for everybody.
It was 3. It was 3, but it was Vegas. It was the
Broncos.
Patriots
Denver,
and Broncos. Yeah, Denver.
Hey,
Yeah, he
Great.
didn't get benched
Broncos.
against the Patriots.
He didn't get. Hey, the Patriots. You started the whole game for the Patriots.
Yeah, he did. It was
And
only
we
2.
won.
Yeah, he
No,
did the
no,
whole
no,
game for the
no,
Patriots. It was 2.
It was only 2 games. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
arguing.
you
with
remember?
somebody
Okay,
saying
yeah.
it
Hey,
was
you
only 2.
remember? Yeah.
Oh,
You remember?
I remember the third. I remember the third one. Y'all forgot
Well,
that soon? The third
what
game
is
he
it?
got benched? It was the last game against Buffalo. He might as well have been.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
No.
Mama can tell me.
Oh,
if
TD, I got a question.
What I meant to say was he got benched twice and he missed the game for a jam thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yo,
that was
TD.
like, to me, I took that as a benching, not really as a that's just my opinion.
I got one question for everybody real quick. And yo, what was y'all Tua's best game? Honestly, his best game to me was against Kansas City. We was down
Arizona.
and he almost brought us
Arizona.
back. That's why I was like, yeah, if he could do this in actually convert mode, he could be the guy. That's the game. That showed me a lot. Arizona's my second favorite.
It wasn't Arizona for me. It was
Kansas City for me. That's just me.
He figured it out, y'all. It was the first time you saw him figure it out. Arizona wasn't doing nothing special defensively like people keep making it out to see. The Patriots was throwing everything at him, and he figured it out in the fourth quarter and got it done. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see people playing cushion zone and man-to-man, and he rip them apart, and he escaped the pocket a few times and make some throws, and we win. I want to see a game just like the Patriots game where you struggle because that defense eating you up, and you figure it out. And that's what he did.
And
that's the game that I like.
Game.
Everybody thought we were going to lose that game because of Belichick's record against rookies. Nah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, man, listen. I want to say something about trusting Greer, because y'all were talking about this like 10 minutes ago. Greer and Flores. Before I do, everybody asking why Pete got on the mask in the house, and I'm telling y'all, leave that man alone. He got warrants. All right, y'all. He doing exactly what we all should be doing. He got warrants. Tell him, but let me say this about trusting Flores and Greer. Y'all know I trust them, right?
Yeah.
But at the same token, in the back of your head, don't forget, man. We keep saying they've done enough for us to trust them, but they haven't. They have to actually. You don't really get the true trust until your whole process is done. The success has happened, and now you got the stamp of trust. Because what difference is it from so many other coaches making us feel confident, and then they do some dumb, boneheaded thing, or the GM, and it all goes to trash?
We've dealt with that way too much, and I personally don't think it's gonna happen. We've dealt with that way too much, TD. Hey, we dealt with way too much.
I trust them, but again, I will have 100% trust when the process is finished and we say the plan worked.
Well, most definitely, I agree with that 100%, most definitely. But I feel like they not They not. They put. I like to just say they not Tannenbaum and they not Jeff Ireland. That's all I'm gonna say.
Jamar Fletcher, Ted Ginn, and Deion Jordan.
Whoa, Deion Jordan's the big. Deion Jordan is the biggest, but for me, is the biggest draft bust we ever drafted.
Because we traded up to get him, huh?
Who drafted Charles Hill?
That was a waste.
To the Raiders. We traded the Raiders. We traded up to get him from the Raiders. So that was.
So TD.
Y'all forgetting about Charles Harris.
Who is the number one guy that you want us to get out of this draft?
Hold on, guys. Say that again.
Who's the number one guy that you gotta have us get in this draft?
The number one guy I gotta have us get in this draft.
Yeah.
Who do you have going 1 and 2?
Hey, besides Sewell.
See, Sewell isn't the number one guy that I got him.
I think it's Sewell.
Yeah,
he reminds me
of yo, as long as it helps the team, I don't care who it is.
I still say Collins, man.
I like Collins, but I mean, if we had a chance to get Najee or Javonte Williams or Najee to help Gaskin, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I
just know I can get Collins at 18. But any of those guys that we want at number 3, first of all, I don't want. I mean, Sewell, we all know, right? If that's what But again, we're going off of maybe that's what they want. You know, we don't know. But then everybody else outside of him at number 3, I want to trade down to 7, 8, 9 because if we get to one of those picks. Anybody we get in that realm, you know, the wide receiver, you know, I feel good about, you know.
If you want to trade the 7, we can talk. The Detroit Lions got the 7th overall pick. You can talk to them and trade back.
And that's what I was gonna say.
Quarterback's about to become free. That's the problem. Here's the problem with the Colts. Did they make the playoffs?
No, I said Detroit. Detroit has the 7th pick.
The Colts did.
Detroit has the 7th pick. You say you want to trade. You want to trade back. We could talk to them about trading back because they might want a quarterback.
But again, it's so many quarterbacks. There's so many quarterbacks going to be not only free agents, but let me tell y'all all the quarterbacks that's going to be on the trade block. Y'all probably going to laugh at me, okay?
It's a short question. Is Dak Prescott one of them?
Yes, he's one.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott. Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, you know another one that people like, whatever. You probably
Matthew Stafford.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson will be on
the trade block too. It ain't like they're gonna push it. But if somebody comes with an offer, remember, y'all gotta remember the situation they went through with Russell Wilson before they
Sam Darnold too. Maybe Sam Darnold.
It's a lot of guys.
These are franchise-turning quarterbacks right here. I just don't want to do anything with Matthew Stafford. If the Dolphins do anything with Matthew Stafford down here, I'm telling you. Oh,
Matthew Stafford will not.
I'm telling you. I promise you, he will have one jersey.
Pete, I told him already, Pete.
Oh, okay. You gave him a warning. Yeah, that is.
Matthew Stafford will not even come to the state of Florida.
It better not be Stafford, bro.
Maybe we go. Maybe we go get Josh Rosen.
But he's cheap.
Listen,
he's cheaper than Stafford.
We got Tua Tagovailoa, man. I think we're gonna roll the dice with that and see how it all plays out. Y'all know me. Y'all already know my stance on it. If it works out, we all happy. If it don't work out,
you should have got Watson.
That's my biggest fear. It's not that if it doesn't work out, it's the fact of not realizing it until we have another Tannehill situation on our hands.
Oh,
you know what, TD? You know what's my biggest fear? If this does not work out, we have to get rid of the GM. It's already another reset, rebuild. What's gonna happen? How long?
No,
How much
you
longer?
don't.
We've been down, we've been down for so long. I'm sick of being at the bottom. I feel like we can only go up. We've been down for way too long. We've been down for too long.
No, you don't get rid of him. You don't get rid of your GM. You don't get rid of your GM unless he stays on it too long.
Hey, remember, it's a 5-year plan. We're like in year number 3 out of the 5-year plan, so it's going to be at least 5 years.
I'm sick of being down, bro.
This was good second year, right?
Yeah.
There's been a lot of plans that got broken off
I
early.
want us to get back to promise. I want division titles, playoffs, and hopefully a Super Bowl.
That's actually the first step right there.
Who said it's a 5-year plan?
The first step is to get a division title.
With Detroit. Next season, Flores hired Fry, who was coach in high school. Also, Dorsey just started following the Dolphins on Twitter. Yeah.
Why do people think he coached this guy in high school? It was like a summer league, Elite 11. That's all he did. He went over there.
That's what it is. Also,
he didn't. It wasn't like, oh, this guy is sent out just to help Tua. No, he got picked to be in the Elite 11, and Charlie Fry was a coach there, and that's who he was on his side. That's just what happened.
I don't know why people are linking those two things. Just like Pete said, stop linking Fry to Tua. The man has a reputation. The man has a reputation and a successful track record. That's why we brought him in, not because he coached Tua in an Elite 11. He also coached other guys in the Elite 11.
The year before he was there. He was there forever before
It's a Dorsey link, man. It's Fry and Dorsey. They have that connection from Cleveland.
It diminishes Fry. Let me tell you, it diminishes Fry's ability, okay? And here's why. Let's go down a road that says Tua just ain't the guy. You want him to be better, but you like put it like this, guys. What if we drafted Pat White last year, right? We all know that he ain't the guy now. But say we drafted Pat White.
Rest in peace, Pat White.
And the quarterback coach couldn't make Pat White good, right? If he couldn't make Pat White good, is it a case of fire the quarterback coach? Is that fair?
No,
but that's what people are setting up. So if 2 or 8 don't do well, they're gonna be like, "Well, Fry wasn't the guy." Sometimes it's not the coach, but that's why the coach has to say,
"Hey, TD."
I agree with you 100, TD.
Yep.
TD,
you gotta be patient.
Here's the problem I have is I understand where we're building from, and it makes sense to me. But the problem was we didn't expect to be this far ahead. So then the question is, can you wait on this team for Tua to get to the level we need him to be to take us to the playoffs and further? That's the concern I have.
That's the question of the day, man. And you did ask.
As long as he keep improving is the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree. As long as he keeps improving, but I guess the reason why Brent is asking that, y'all have to understand. As he improves, the team looks different. It ain't gonna be the same team. Van Noy is eventually gone, potentially, or not the same player. You know, Shaq is gone or not the same player. Or 2 years from now, X is amazing, but now he's not the same player anymore. So time goes, and sometimes you get off of your prime team. This team is built to do it now, just like Kansas City, right? Their second year, they went to the AFC Championship, Mahomes' second year, right? As a rookie, right? So they were built to plug him in and let's go. So he's asking, but what if Tua's progression is 3-4 years, but he's out and he's getting better, but at the same token, this team, we got to go with new people, and you don't know what to expect when you bring new people in. You hope
to that point, every quarterback develops. Everyone develops different. Justin Herbert had a great rookie year, but next year he takes a mad decrease. Didn't one?
Yeah.
If he does, then that's a bad thing for him. But they got a good start on it, though. You see what I mean? They already know.
I don't want to cut in, but I disagree with that. Because the only quarterback that I seen that all of us have seen get developed was Tannehill. Besides that, all the 19 other quarterbacks were in and out of here.
Yeah.
Chop.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Tannehill, what, 7 years? 7 years here? 7 years?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But once again, the difference between Tannehill and those guys is you saw the attributes in him. The man was still putting the yards up. Yes, sir. Just so you
With
know,
Tannehill, you saw each year progression.
Hey, real quick, just so you know, I was supposed to end the stream 45 minutes ago, but I'm keeping it rolling. So y'all got Daddy Daycare over here at the same time building trains. So
everybody here,
hey,
TD, everybody
the boys
appreciates
part of the
this.
family, man.
So y'all, we
Aloha.
can keep cooking. As long as y'all do
man. I'm just happy to be around Dolphins fans, bro. Ain't no Dolphins around, man. I'm just happy to be around Dolphins fans, bro.
But it does get scary though, y'all, because you don't want to outgrow the team. Because I mean, let's be honest. As soon as Patrick Mahomes' $50 million kick in, that's gonna I've already proven it. Okay, I've already proven it with the last generation with Russ Wilson and all of that. But people still ignore me. Now, if Patrick Mahomes' money kick in. Then when Lamar Jackson money kick in and Josh Allen's money kick in, and if all of those guys keep going to the playoffs but a first round or a second round exit, I'm gonna prove the point again that the money makes a difference and you outgrew your team now because your money don't allow you to have that team. Because all the beautiful quarterbacks are on rookie deals unless you're a veteran making less than 15% of the cap. Everybody else ain't doing nothing in this league.
Look what happened to Russell Wilson and the Seahawks.
What happened to him the last 3 years? First round bounces. Ever since he got that money, the man went from being a rookie, winning 14 games, 13 games, 12 and a half, and 11. Since then, he ain't won more than 11 games in the regular season.
He only has one Super Bowl, one Super Bowl loss. He's only one. That's all he got.
Cam Chancellor, Sherman, and Thomas got that first one.
So the Chiefs can do this all day. But when they defense,
sooner rather than later, the Chiefs gonna have to make a decision. You want to keep Tyreek Hill or you want to keep Kelsey? Both of them mistake. Somebody got to do it.
They can keep them all, bro.
But that's the only two weapons they gonna have.
But the problem is their defense might not be able to sustain.
When it comes to the money situation and it hurting teams, TD is right. That's why my number one option to help this team, my number one option right now in the draft will be to get Trevor Lawrence. Trade up everything you got to get because you get a rookie quarterback. You still have money to build around him in free agency. And you know, the only other quarterback you're gonna trade that much picks for would be Deshaun Watson, but he comes with a huge salary. So it's either get Watson or you could go with the rookie Trevor Lawrence and still be able to build it. What's up? Talk to me.
Pete, what you did yesterday was genius. Because if you can get more capital on Xavier Howard in the second round, this guy ended up doing a mock draft and got like 4 second-round picks with that Xavier Howard trade. I mean, I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Honestly, you probably get a first-round defensive player than you, which I think you would. Why shouldn't you win?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't you win?
And remember last season, the owner, Stephen Ross, he wanted Joe Burrow. So what not to say that he doesn't want to go up for the number one pick again? Because we're only going to get over Tua unless it's Watson or Lawrence.
Wait. Let me reply to Pete if y'all don't mind. Because I wanted to go hand in hand with Brent. It's the same question Brent was asking. You know, is it going to take too long for that development? Here's what y'all got to consider. What if Tua is a 4-year development guy and then he arrives? Is he going to get a big deal at the end of that? Because you would miss a 4-year window of winning a Super Bowl, then you jump straight to giving a big deal, and then you don't win it anyway because the money don't add up to be able to support the team.
That's why I don't even want to think about that.
That's why I like the Watson deal because the Watson
deal. You have to think about that.
you get a quarterback that knows what they're doing in the Watson deal.
But hold
that's
on.
why
I'm considered the biggest
that
Tua hater.
Watson situation was so appealing because he's only $15 million of the cap this year. That should allow you to almost guarantee. That should allow you to go to the Super Bowl. Tight defense. He's only counting 15 for an elite
And he's
quarterback.
already established.
Put weapons around him.
Where's my train?
You guys don't think that Tua will be the ultimate team guy and be like and take deals like Tom Brady?
I don't think he'll win.
I can see him doing that.
I don't know.
That's the feeling. That's the feeling I get from Tua, to be honest with you guys.
What if he gets injured?
That he will be willing, that he will be willing to do what's best for the organization. I mean, this guy just got 30 million for nothing already.
TD, if we go, we at this point in time, the only
his mic sounds like it's underwater. Or is it just me?
Yeah, I hear the same thing.
We gotta get past the Buffalo Bills.
When he talks about Tua, he puts his voice changer on.
Sound like Darth Vader, bro. Yeah.
Hey, listen, y'all. Listen.
Darth Vader.
I think this is a good place. I think this is a good place to close it out, but because I want to show some undivided attention to the babies. You already know how I get down. So Daryl, hold on for me, all right? But listen, I appreciate y'all coming through. We're gonna keep on having these conversations in the evening. When I go live, I'm gonna do more roundtables like this to hear more opinions and stuff. So make sure if you're watching the videos, you come through, give your 2 cents on the topics, man. But once again, I appreciate y'all. S. Brent, appreciate you coming through, man. Florida born, Kentucky grown as always. Miles, first time I can see Miles. I appreciate you coming through, homie. Fins 209, thank you. Camp for Life. Camp for Life be everywhere, man. And I appreciate it, bro. And Ashton, man, it was refreshing to see you and adding your input, bro. So don't be a stranger, guys. Thank y'all.
Deshaun Watson.
Fins up to everybody, man. I'll see y'all later, guys.
Much love, PD.
Bye.
Before we get out of here, I want to hear from my homie real quick. Daryl, man, what's up, man? I seen you backstage. I didn't know that you were back there all that time. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say a few things before I leave.
What's going on, TD, man? And really backstage all that long. A lot of times when you do live streams, first of all, I'm at work. So the fact that I'm even able to talk to you right now is really a blessing to me because, I haven't really been able to, be on your other live streams like I wanted to. But nevertheless, man, as far as what I got to say, here's the thing about Tua, because based upon the little bit that I was able to walk in on, that strikes me as live stream was I don't know.
Eat over here. Daddy, you gotta eat over here. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. All right, but like I said, man, based upon a little bit that I was able to come on and listen to, it seems like Tua was basically the main topic of discussion. But nevertheless, here's the thing about Tua. Tua, if you were to ask me what grade I give him, I would simply give you the answer of N/A for non-applicable. And the reason why is because you can't really make that type of judgment call on a kid who only really started 8 games and 8 games only. And in those 8 games, he was benched for 2 of them. I admit I kind of got confused. I thought he was benched for 3, but it turns out he was only benched for 2, if I'm not mistaken. So here are the positives that I want to mention. With Tua, everybody in the beginning of the season was like, okay, he might not play this full year. And yes, he had struggles. That's what happens when you're a rookie. You're bound to struggle at some point. But here's what I walk away from the season thinking about. I saw a young man literally who had to get dragged off the field at Alabama because of a hip injury. I saw a young man do whatever he could despite having the risk of having his livelihood taken from him. I saw a young man do whatever he could to make it back on the field despite hip surgery and put his life on the line and be able to do something for the game that he loves and provide some type of hope for the Miami Dolphins organization that they did not make the mistake of drafting him. I also saw a young man literally brush his shoulders off, keep his head up, despite all the struggles and despite how many times he got knocked down, find a way to pick himself back up. And in those 2 games that he got benched, everybody's talking about Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson and a lot of other quarterbacks wouldn't have taken that as gracefully as he took it. So long story short, I'm not going to give up on Tua. Instead, I'm going to be hopeful because I believe that if he shows the drive that he showed to get back on that field after he had hip surgery, if he shows the type of drive that he needs to show, and if he does what Brian Flores said at the end of it when he was talking to the media, takes the time to study, work on his footwork, read the right routes, and analyze the field the way that he needs to, then he's going to be the player that we believe that he can be, and he's going to exceed expectations. I also don't think that if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But the Dolphins making the moves that they're making, bringing the people that Tua is familiar with, and getting rid of all the guys that Chan Gailey knew, you can't tell me that they're doing all that just to say, hey, we're gonna move on from you. That's just something that I can't fathom. Now again, it's a business, and of course the Dolphins are going to make the moves that they believe are best, but I just hope that in the moves that they make, they don't rush based off of based off of this divide that some have. Some wanted Joe Burrow, some wanted Justin Herbert, some given the 8 games that he played in, weren't all that impressed. For me, as I said before, in the ways that people are, I guess, analyzing him, yeah, it's perfectly fine if you say, okay, this is what he needs to work on, this is what he needs to improve on. And it's also fine if you're making the assumption of, okay, what if this happens and what if that happens, because you have to be prepared for whatever. But at the same time, as I said before, I'm not going to give up on the kid. I just have a lot of faith, and this is coming from a guy who's boldly admitted to UTD that for a moment I gave up on the Dolphins, and I can't remember a time in my life where, yeah, there's people who are, that have their doubts. There's people who are hopeful. I can't remember where there was ever this much people who are on either side. Because you got to remember, the Dolphins at the QB position, nobody had faith. It was, okay, they got this guy at QB. He's probably going to be gone in the next 2-3 years. That's what I remember in my lifetime. So I'm still remaining hopeful that, and I know I'm repeating myself with hopeful, but at the same time, in this day and age, with everything that we've been through, in 2020, in regards to, not even knowing that we're going to have an NFL season, and, not even knowing if the kid was going to play, or everything going on, I still believe, something I never thought I'd say when it came to the quarterback position for the Dolphins, but I just hope that everybody still believes also.
Appreciate you, Daryl, for coming through. Great words, man. You said a lot there, and that's definitely on the positive side of things, how a lot of us honestly should look at things in so many ways. As far like the positives that you named about Tua are true. I just think that a lot of people have opposing views on, like you said, Watson wouldn't have handled the benching like that. But some people would say Watson would have never been in a position to get benched like that. So Tua has his things that he definitely needs to improve on. We've definitely talked about those, but I will say this. I don't think. Well, I'd be wrong. People have given up on Tua. I've told y'all several times. I'm not giving up on Tua. He's not giving up on. Again, my same narrative remains the same. I just would feel so much better if we had a contingency plan,
right,
and or brought in competition at the position because I think that the one thing that I did agree with everyone on about Tannehill, he never had to compete for his job.
Right.
So I don't want to repeat that. But if you want to reply to that before we get out of here, it's the floor is yours.
Well, TD,
we're going to get ice cream now, okay?
You have to have a backup plan because you never know what can happen. And that's what the Dolphins went up on Ryan Tannehill. Say what you want about him. I've had my views on Tannehill. Now, because the good teams who do have two quarterbacks competing for that position, they have success in the long run. These are facts. History has shown that the teams who do this, they've had success. So if you're the Dolphins and you haven't had the amount of success that fans who've been loyal and supported you for years and years and years without having faith at all that anything good was going to happen, you owe it to yourself to at least consider all options. Now, in regards to Deshaun Watson, I mean, TD, look, the dude hasn't really been the same since his injury, you know, and I'm not trying to bash the guy, but at the same time, if this is how he's acting with Houston, with everything that's going on, because Houston has dug themselves in a hole, unfortunately, that they haven't had an opportunity to get out of. If this is how he's acting with Houston, when adversity comes his way, is he going to have that same attitude with the Dolphins? I mean, here's the thing. I mean, the quarterback position is a controversial position. And in ways, it's almost like the quarterback is the coach on field. So if guys see that you're not actively engaged, you know, that's going to rub off on the guys that you have to line up with. And
well, I don't think that's I don't think that's the case with Watson. His performance is the same, if not better, honestly. Some could argue it's been better. But as far as the situation in Houston, it goes a lot deeper than just being consulted about bringing in a coach. It's more from a social standpoint. That's the issue, and I don't think he would have that issue in Miami. That's why he's been quoted of saying he loves what we're building on over there with Flores and Greer and the way that they're approaching things. So, and that has a lot to do with social issues. But I would love to keep going, but I gotta actually get out of here now, man. But I'm glad that you can tune in at work, man, however you can, man. But I appreciate you coming through as always. Thank you for the love and support you always give and the contribution through your analysis, man. And that same goes for everybody who watches the channel. We appreciate your love. We appreciate your support. Hit that like button on your way out. I got to jump to the family. Thank you so much, Daryl.
Real quick, TD, man, I just want to say love and for your audience out there that's watching. At the end of the day, we might have our disagreements, but the one thing that remains the same is that we all want to see well. So God bless everybody out there, and y'all stay safe.
Absolutely, we all want to see the same thing: victories, Super Bowls, and just a happy fan base. Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate you, homie. I'll see y'all later, man. This is another episode of TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. 2 hours in. I told you this was supposed to be an hour, but we went daddy daycare today. But I'll see y'all soon. Love y'all. Peace. Hit that like button on your way out.